Hello everyone. We continue to speak about the country study of the UK. The theme of our today's conversation is England, London, general information. And today the students will be able to list the main facts connected to the geographical position of England, its history and economy, characterize the administrative parts of England, make a short investigation on the topic. But before we start speaking according to the new theme, I would like you to check up your knowledge of the previous lesson. So, let's start with a short game. Please give me the answers to the following questions. What is the richest, the most fertile and the most populated part of the UK? What part of the UK is with the most diverse scenery? What is the name of the region with the most number of lakes? What are the names of the main regions in the UK? What are the main mineral resources and main industrial centers? What is the name of the flower symbol of England? What is the name of the water body to the south of the country? And what is the national currency? I hope you are ready to check. So, let's start with the first one. The richest, the most fertile and the most populated part of the UK is, of course, England. The part of the UK with the most diverse scenery is called Scotland. The region with the most number of lakes is Lake District. Two main regions in the UK are called Highland Britain and Lowland Britain. The mineral resources and main industrial centers. The mineral resources in the country are coal and oil, and the main center is called Black Country. The flower symbol of England is a red rose. The name of the water body to the south of the country is called English Channel, and the name of the national currency is, of course, the pound sterling. Hooray! That is it. And now we are going to start with a new theme. To begin with, I would like to suggest you such an exercise to match the words and word combinations to the pictures and their names below. So, match which one is a flag, national day, the highest point, lowest point, longest river, largest lake, waterfall, and animal of England. So now we are going to check your suggestions. And the first one is a flag. The flag of England is called Cross of St. George. It is a red cross on the white field. The next one is the National Day. The National Day of England is St. George's Day, and it is on the 23rd of April. The highest point. The highest point in England is called Scafell Pike. Scafell Pike is a mountain peak which is situated in the Cambrian Mountains and which is the highest point in the country. The next one is the lowest point. The lowest point in the country is called the Fens or the Fenland, and it is a marshy region in the east of England. The next one is the longest river. Of course, the longest river in the country is the Thames. You know that London is situated on the banks of the Thames. The next one is the largest lake, and the largest lake is called Windermere. Windermere is located in the Lake District, and it is 66 meters deep. The next one is a waterfall. You may be surprised, but there is even a waterfall in England, and the name of the waterfall is Cauldron Snout. Cauldron Snout, it is 60-meter high waterfall, and it is situated in the northern England. And hooray, the last one is the national animal. The national animal is the lion, and it was declared the national symbol during the reign of Richard I, whose name was Richard the Lionheart, and nowadays it is a national symbol. So now let's start with the lecture for today. England is a constituent part of the United Kingdom. The country status is a kingdom. It comprises 2/3 of the island of Great Britain. England shares land borders with Scotland to the north and Wales to the west. It is washed by the Irish Sea, the Celtic Sea, and the North Sea. The English Channel separates England from continental Europe. England also includes over 100 smaller islands, such as the Isles of Scilly and the Isle of Wight. There are 10 national parks in England. The landscape of England is clearly seen through the scenery of the national parks. The terrain in the majority of parks in the north is hilly and mountainous, including the Cambrian Mountains of the Lake District, the Pennines, and limestone hills of the Peak District. Most of the country in the south consists of lowland terrain and forests. The most important rivers in England are the Thames, the Mersey, and the Tyne, with the ports respectively in London, Liverpool, and Newcastle. There are many trees and plants in the country. You can find chestnuts, oaks, fir trees, and limes here. There are not so many forests and woods in Britain, and perhaps the most famous one is Sherwood Forest with Robin Hood living in it. Many animals live in England. They are squirrels, foxes, hares. Also, there are a lot of birds in parks and fish in lakes and rivers. Most of the flora and fauna are preserved in the national parks. England has a temperate maritime climate. The weather in the country is very changeable, and it rains a lot, especially in the Lake District. Now, we are going to speak about the people living in the country. Originally settled by Celtic peoples, England was conquered by Romans, Angles, Saxons, Jutes, Danes, and Normans. England takes its name from the Angles, one of the Germanic tribes. It used to be known as Angleland, meaning the land of the Angles. Acts of Union joined England with Wales in 1536, with Scotland in 1707, and with Ireland in 1801 to form the United Kingdom. English people are very polite, neat, and disciplined. They love their homes, pets, and comfort. The population of the country is about 55 million people, and nearly 84% of population of the UK lives in England, mainly in the major cities and metropolitan areas. The whole territory of England is subdivided into 9 regions, with London as a separate territory. The northern region, which is called North West, is rather wild and lonely, but it contains some of the busiest industrial centers. This part of England is known for its deep valleys, rivers, hills, and mountains. The Lake District and the Peak District are the national parks under the National Trust here. The main cities here are Carlisle, Blackpool, Liverpool, Manchester, Bolton, Chester, and Preston. It was here that iron and steel production, railway engineering, bridge building, industrial machinery, and textile industry developed extensively. The next region is called Northumbria or North East, and it is a region of great natural beauty, although industry has existed here for thousands of years. Northumberland National Park was set in 1895 to protect the countryside. The main cities here are Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Gateshead, and Durham. It has always been famous for fishing, trading, and shipbuilding. Industrialization, however, didn't spoil the countryside of the northeast. The next region is called Yorkshire and the Humber, and one of the most important places in the north of England is situated here. It is called York, the former capital of the Viking Kingdom, an important railway center and the home of famous chocolate, and a historical center known for its outstanding beauty. The main cities here are York, Bradford, Sheffield, Leeds, Hull, and Rotherham. The next region is called East Midlands, and the region is home to the Pennines and the most number of forests, including famous Sherwood Forest. There are large quantities of limestone and the Midlands oil province. The main cities here are Nottingham, Derby, Leicester, Northampton, and Lincoln. The next region is called West Midlands, and the region is a birthplace of industrial revolution with Birmingham as a center. The Gorge, a World Heritage Site, is a good chance to visit historian England. Besides that, the region encompasses 5 of outstanding natural beauties. The main cities here are Birmingham, Stratford-on-Avon, which is a birthplace of William Shakespeare. The next region is called East of England or East Anglia. The climate of this region generally dry and mild. Much of northern East Anglia is flat, low-lying, and marshy. You remember the Fenland or the Fens, which is situated here. On the northwest corner, East Anglia is bordered by a bay known as Wash. The main cities here are Norwich, Cambridge, Bedford, Ipswich, Lutton, Harlow, and many others. The next region is called South East. The region is known for its countryside, which includes the North Downs, the hills, as well as 2 national parks, the Forest, the Downs. There is also a number of internationally known places of interest, and the main cities here are, of course, Portsmouth, and the most famous one is, of course, Oxford, which is ranked among the best in the world. The next the next region is called Southwest, and this region includes 2 entire parks, Dartmoor, and 4 heritage sites, including Stonehenge, the coast, which you, I hope, know. The main cities of this region are Bristol, Exeter, Plymouth, Poole, Gloucester, and Bath. The next region, which is also a capital city of the country, is called London. One Samuel Johnson told that you find no man at all intellectual who is willing to leave London. No, sir, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life, for there is in London all that life can afford. Of course, in London there are a lot of sightseeing, and in internet there are a lot of exciting videos describing the London must-see sites. I hope you watch the video and enjoy the description. The territory of London is divided into 32 London boroughs, but usually we divide the territory of the capital city into distinct parts, which are city, a commercial and business center, the West End, which is the richest part, and the East End, which is the hands of London. So, speaking about the main cities and the main regions, we should definitely mention some characteristic features of the British economy. The labor force of the constituent part, namely England, is 30 million people, which means that nearly half of the population works, And the list of the industries here shows you the different spheres they are working in. That is the machine tools, electric power equipment, automation equipment, railroad equipment, and so on. So there are a lot of industries to be working in. The main term which we are going to discuss here, and which is closely connected to the England's economy, is called Catanopolis. Catanopolis denotes a metropolis centered on cotton trading. It is applied to the city of Manchester because of its large number of textile factories. Manchester is also famous for the National Chartist Association that was founded in Manchester in 1838. Chartism was a working class movement for political reform in Britain, which existed from 1838 to 1858, and it took its name from the People's Charter of 1838. Tourism has also become an important part of England's economy. The country is visited by millions of people every year, and the main tourist sites and attractions in England are the Stonehenge, the Lakes District, the Salisbury Cathedral with copes of Magna Carta, York, the former capital of Vikings, and industrial Birmingham. One more interesting fact to mention is that England is home to lots of different sports, but the most played one is, of course, football. Lots of tourists come to the country to see the famous football teams playing on marvelous England stadiums. So that is all about the constituent part of the UK. Which name is England, and now we are going to check up whether you remember the main information about the country. So, what are the land borders of England? Perhaps you remember that England borders Scotland to the north and Wales to the west. What are the water borders of England? The water borders of England are the North Sea, the Celtic Sea, English Channel, and Strait of Dover. What is the number of neighboring islands? The number of neighboring islands is 100. What are the names of neighboring islands? The names of neighboring islands are the Isles of Scilly and the Isle of Wight. What is the number of people living in the country? There are over 55 million people living here. What are the places the majority of population lives? Majority of population lives in the cities and metropolitan areas. What is the name of the capital and major cities? So the capital city of England is London, and the major cities are Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, Birmingham, and many others. What are the names of the peoples England was conquered by? England was conquered by the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Danes or Vikings, and the Normans. What are the dates of the country unity? So you should remember three of them. England was joined with Wales in 1536, with Scotland in 1606, and with Ireland in 1801. Flora and fauna. What are the main representatives of flora and fauna? You can find chestnuts, oaks, fir trees, and limes, which are representatives of flora, the trees namely. And the animals are squirrels, foxes, hares, lots of birds and fish. What are the names of the rivers and ports? The names of the rivers are the Thames, the Mersey, the Tyne, and the names of the ports are namely in London, Liverpool, and Newcastle. What types of industries are there in England? In England there are a lot of industries connected with the shipbuilding, aerospace. There is a lot of steel making corporations, automation, and so on. As your home assignment for investigation, I would like to suggest you to investigate and mark on the blind map the land and water borders of England, the Isle of Wight and the Isle of Scilly, the mountain chains, rivers and lakes, the fens, the main cities, and the Black Country. The next point for investigation is the following. Investigate and express in 50 sentences the administrative division, namely the shires, the areas of outstanding beauty, top 10 tourist destinations in England, the London sites, and their characteristics for the general parts of London, namely the City, the West End, and the East End. To make your investigation, you can use the recommended reference sources. Most of them are of Wikipedia, but you can use any you like. And here is a list of YouTube videos you can also use to make your investigation and enjoy the course. So that is all for today. Enjoy your life, enjoy the course. Thanks for joining us. I hope we will meet next time.